Last week we talked about the US dollar strength, and when I said that there is a possibility that what we saw in July 2023 will repeat itself in July 2024, as we actually saw the same pattern playing out there, and then we see our market still reacting to this, and then we see our price is actually behaving at this particular area, as you can see. And we see the decline in DU, EU as the US dollar strength coming into play out. So last week, from Monday to Friday, price ranging through in the DSY. So on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with no clear direction. But right now, it's showing us that price are started rejecting this low, and probably we might see the creation of a new high that will break this particular high coming into next week. And then if you check the forextrading.com, you see that next week is not for joke, it's not for play. We have a lot of fundamental next week that you don't want to be at the wrong side of the move next week. The Federal Reserve is expected to keep the rate unchanged next week, and then probably someone named Macquarie forecast 75 basis points interest rate cuts this year. That is starting in September. Let's see. And then last week we saw the core PCE price index rose to 0.2 in June, and it meets estimate. So what you will now focus on is Powell remark on the interest rate. So let's see what Powell will say, and then let's see the outcome of the interest rate interest rate report next week, because a soft landing for the US economy is at risk if the Fed delays rate cuts beyond September, as you can see. So let's just hope probably maybe they will start cutting the interest rate in September, or probably before then. So let's see what will happen. Next week we still have the NFP, which is non-farm payroll. That is on August the 2nd, 2024. That is on Friday. And then we have a lot of fundamental next week that you don't want to even joke with. So you just have to play safe. You use your protective stop loss always. And then in the risk environments like this, where you see that there's a lot of fundamental, you just have to be very, very careful with the position size you want to use as well. So what are we looking at on the DSY next week? For me, I still support, and then I'm still on the opinion of the US dollar strength next week. Probably we might see price going beyond this particular area next week, and then probably we might see the break of this area. But this one might happen probably next couple of weeks, or probably, I don't know, but let's see how it goes. But for me, and then if we want to have, let's say, maybe a retrace or this thing, price should get here before any retrace can actually happen, because buyers are accumulating their position at this area already. As you can see, they are accumulating their position. And if you check the 4-hour time frame, you see a reversal pattern, and probably a reversal pattern around this area, which looks like which is obviously the end and shoulder. As you can see, this is a reversal pattern, and it happens at this particular area, which means that price might actually push to this particular area before we see probably maybe a decline before further push. So let's see. Next week is a very, very busy week, so you just have to be ready for what is going to happen next week. So guys, this is Ambafx. If you are just watching this for the first time, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I bring the latest insight in the world of Forex market, the fundamental, the technical, and probably the sentimental analysis. So do well to subscribe, like, and share, and don't forget to drop your opinion in the comment section. Before we move further, there's a link to a verified broker in the description below, and then there is a link to a verified prop firm in the description. So please click on it, register, and then deposit. So if you deposit like minimum of $50, to your broker using my link, so you have access to my premium channel. So that's the what you have to our premium channel where I drop various entry and exits of my trade. So let's move on. So before we go to the individual pairs, let's check the economy activities for the for next week. Next week is a very busy week in the forex market, but Monday will be a quiet day. But starting from Tuesday, we are going to see a lot of volatilities coming back into the market because we have the consumer confidence in the United States on Tuesday. We have the German prelim CPI and then the job opening from the United States on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have the AUG CPI year over year and the quarter, and then probably then we still have BOJ rate policy, that is monetary policy statement, but it's tentative. But let's see, probably maybe they will actually release it that day, or they might actually postpone it. And then on Wednesday too, we have the core CPI flash estimate from the euro. We have the CPI flash estimate year over year too. Wednesday, ADP non-farm employment change. You know, this one used to come before the NFP. Anytime there is an NFP, in an NFP week, they will first release ADP non-farm employment change before they will release the NFP. So this one up for the private sector. So let's see how it goes. And then probably we have the employment cost index in the US dollar and then Canadian ADP on Wednesday as well. Later that day, that's when we have the FOMC rate statement, that is interest rate report from the Fed, and it is expected to stay the same. You understand? They are expected to keep the interest rate unchanged, but let's see what they will do. On Thursday, we have the monetary policy from the Bank of England, that is the BOE. So guys, you don't want to be at the wrong side of this move. Thursday too, we have the unemployment claims, ISM manufacturing PMI from the US. As you can see a lot of dangers. Friday, we have the biggest news of every month, which is the NFP. Even though CPI is getting more volatility than the NFP this day, but it's still the biggest news of every month. That is non-farm employment change. So the number of people employed apart from the farming sector, that is the percentage of people. So that is the unemployment rate. So let's see how it goes here. And then so let's go to the individual currency and see my personal bias for next week. So the first one I'm looking at here is gold. You know, last week I told us that this gold will come back to this range, and then lo and behold, we saw it coming back to this range and it break down, and then we saw this retracement, and then we saw a break of this low. And if you want to check this thing, you can see that price is coming down, which means that we have a reversal here, and then this neckline reject back, and then there's a break of this neckline. So which means that for me, what I'm still looking at is go to the downside. But if I want to sell good at this area, what me personally I will use is a fib retracement tool. Probably I'll be waiting for this 50% or 61.8% to sell good back to this low. So I'm on a sell bias on gold, so my bias is to the downside. But probably I'll use this fib retracement to check any rejection at any of this level, probably maybe 50% or 61.8% retracement level to look for. And then don't forget that this is 4 hours, so probably you might still switch to 1 hour to look for an obvious rejection to sell gold back to 2,290. So my bias on gold next week is to the downside, in which I'll wait for retracement here and be looking for a rejection. So before I change my bias on buying gold, it will need to break this high back to this area. So if it breaks this high, then probably I will change my bias to buy bias. And another thing gold might do is you might see it coming here, come and retest this high, and then you see it coming back to this particular low. Well, is any sign of rejection you see here, the opportunity for you to look for is bearish bias back to 290. So watch out for good on that one, because last week I talked about this. If you go and watch my last week forecast and see what I said about good at this particular area. So same thing with GBP USD. So GBP USD is the next pair I want to look at. As you can see, last week I actually said that we have break this particular this is a lower high, okay, higher low, sorry, this is higher low, and then this is higher high. So the more the price has broken this higher low, so which means that the upward movement has been invalidated, and then price is about to retrace or to reverse. So as you can see, this is we have, after this higher low break, and we have a retest, which then we have a downward move at that particular area. So my next bias is still to the downside, which means that price might still, seller might still drag the price back to 1.27908. So where am I looking to sell this particular pair? So let's zoom further. So if there is actually a retracement back to this particular area, and then as you can see, on Friday price want to retrace back to that particular area, but it failed as the 4-hour candle closes bearish. So which means that on Monday I'll be looking for a selling opportunity at this area back to this 1.27906. so this might be like up almost 150 pips to the downside. So this area I'm willing to sell GBP USD to, and as you can see, using this line, this trend line, this is the next support level. As you can see, this is the next support level you can see here, or probably this one, where we might actually see price going back to the upside at that particular area. And if you want to use the field retracement, which is this, so this area is a 61.8 level, Fibonacci retracement level, where price might actually bounce back and then probably maybe start going up if this is a very big retracement. So probably for next week I'm still on sell bias on the GBP US dollar, as you can see. So which means that I'm looking for price to probably hit 1.27906 or 1.27600. So these are the two levels I'm looking to sell GBP US dollar to next week. So I'm selling this pair or do nothing going into next week. Probably this might happen before the FOMC or probably after that. So let's see, but there will be a lot of volatility next week. So stay sharp, keep your eyes in the market, don't dull yourself. Euro USD, my bias is to the downside also, because this level has been broken to the downside, and then price will just come to do its thing. So probably I'm looking for a breakout back to this 1.08055. So that's what I'm looking at on Euro US dollar last week to sell. So a sell bias on Euro USD for me next week, because before I can change my mind to a buy bias, price has to come back here and then break this high of 0.9042. That's 1.09042. So let's see how it goes, because this is next support for me on the Euro US dollar, and this is a retracement before we see a breakout back to this area. And another thing is, if price now break through this area, let's say we have a break through this area to the upside, probably I might be looking for a buy bias also, because this has been invalidated, and then there is probably a new high might created. But for now, my bias is a sell bias. So next week probably I might be selling Euro USD or do nothing going to the next week, which means that probably maybe a small retracement and a sell off back to 1.005508055. And then if this level break, should be looking for 1.07200. So that's that about AUD US dollar. So the next one I want to check is the US dollar card, Canadian dollar. yeah, I'm looking forward to go with the trend, but probably price didn't create a new high next week, so we might last week, sorry, we didn't see a new high last week, but we might see price slowing down back to 1.3775 if price slow down to here. And as you can see, here is a very, very strong support level you don't want to joke at. This is 15 minutes. Let's pull it back to 1 hour time frame. So here is a very, very strong level you don't want to joke at right now, because as price is in a range and there is a breakout of that particular range, so which means our price will actually come back to retest this range, and then might see a new high back to 1.39001. so I'm of the opinion that we might actually see a retracement on US dollar, Canadian dollar next week before we see the upward push to break that level. So retracement by break this level to the downside, and then the price might pick up from here, and then we'll see a break of this level. But if on Monday you now see a break of this particular area, which will make price create a new high, and if this price creates a new high around this particular area, what you should be waiting for is, if price creates a new high, you should just wait for a small retracement and then do what? And buy. Because if price break that area, that's when probably you should use your trend line at this particular area to open for the retracement, so that you can actually enter. So probably if price creates a new high, you should wait for a retracement back to the trend line, and then you buy from the trend line, which 1.3900 is where the take profit is. The next pair is Canadian dollar JPY. This one, I think this is one of my favorite entry next week, because we've seen a lot of sell-off in Canadian dollar JPY, and even in Canadian dollar it's very, very weak. So we've seen sell-off in that currency last week. So, and JPY is moving stronger, and probably they said they are going to increase their interest rates next week. They have the interest rate report next week, so probably there is a sentiment of the increase in the interest rate. So this might actually continue to move the market, and then you'll see the likes of Canadian JPY coming to the downside, and then this is a retracement, and I believe the retracement is over, and we might see price coming back to 1.08744. So I'm looking to sell Canadian dollar JPY next week or do nothing, which means that my entry might actually be from this particular area, and I've already marked my entry down. It might immediately price maybe retrace or probably continue, then I will actually enter, and then I'll be expecting price to break this low, and they will have my take profit as 1.08744. Same with Swiss franc JPY, because this is where my safe zone is, my sell safe zone. And if you can see the big picture, there is a range here and price breakthrough, and then probably it did a retracement, and unfortunately retracement didn't come here, so there is a rejection here, with price reject, creating a double bottom with the trend, as you can see. So sometimes trading chart pattern with the trend is very, very profitable, and then than trading against the pair is not the trend. Sorry, it's not profitable trading it against the trend. It's profitable trading it with the pair trend. Sorry. So this is the double top right here. That is as you can see. So probably I'll be waiting for price to continue falling to this particular area, and if you check the 4-hour time frame, you see that this area is a support level. So, and this area too is a support level you can force to use. So probably I'm on a sell bias on CHF JPY back to this particular low, back to 171.025. So these are the pairs on my watch list going into the next week: gold, GU, EU, USD CAD, Canadian JPY, and then Swiss franc JPY. So this is the weekly forex forecast, guys. So if you are just watching this for the first time, do well to subscribe, like, and share, and turn on the notification bell so that you receive the notification if I drop a new video. And don't forget to click the link in the description box to open your favorite and then your reputable broker and a reputable prop firm. So guys, have a lovely profitable trading weeks. Don't forget to trade safely. Don't be at the wrong side of any move next week, because next week there's going to be a lot of pepper next week, and market is going to show a lot of trader pepper next week. So don't be one of them. Be one of the traders that will make money and smile next week. So take care, guys.